Wednesday. Hey guys, I have a meeting in 15 minutes, so let me see if I can get this out really quickly. But quick disclaimer, I just want to say before I share this with you guys that the Lord spoke to me about this morning, this is not for someone who's not a meat eater when it comes to biblical things. And I say that because somebody could easily take this word and be like, oh, Nina's encouraging me to wait for a married man because I know that's my husband. I am not. Oh, Nina's encouraging me to, seek out someone who's in a relationship. No, I am not. This is not any of that, okay? So let me just make that disclaimer because there's so many of you standing for people that God never told you to stand for. Your flesh desires the person and therefore you have dreams about them and you feel like God is giving you a dream and da-da-da. All these things. I'm not encouraging any of that. Okay, so if you're not maturing your walk with Christ, skip the word. Just skip the word because I don't want you to perceive something that I'm not saying or like take this a certain way and you find yourself in a web of lies, a web of deception, a web of confusion. And that's so easy to do when you're yearning for something. So I just want to throw that out there. I'm not encouraging nobody to wait for a married man or any of that stuff. I know I wouldn't wait for no married man, baby. Congratulations. Okay, God, where's my husband? I move on. Like, I would never encourage anybody to do that. Oh, God has me waiting and this person. A lot of people are standing for people that God never told them to stand for and wait for. And, it's... The kingdom marriage words, they're getting ridiculous. And I release marriage words on this channel, okay? But not in the wave that it's been going. And yeah. So anyways, this is not going to be for everybody. Not everyone's not going to understand this, but some people maybe this will give clarity or something. I don't know. I'm just going to share it. But please don't be deceived by anything. Don't be deceived by anything. And don't take this word in a way that I'm not saying. Okay? Did I just say that right? I don't know. It's been a long day. Y'all get what I'm saying. Okay? The country twang is coming out. It's been a long day. But this is going to be titled, When Deception Forces You into Something Your Heart Never Pursued. When deception forces you into something your heart never pursued. Okay, people can be deceived by a lot of different things. Sometimes they're deceived by another person. Sometimes they're deceived by their own fleshly desires, wants, and needs. Sometimes they're deceived by emotions. You can be deceived by your past experiences that still have a hold on you. There could be a lot of things that deceive you, that push you into a relationship with someone that you should not be in a marriage with someone you should not be in. But Bible thumpers will tell you that it doesn't matter. If you marry someone, stay with them until they die because that's what the word of God says. Okay? Yes, marriage is a till death do us part type of deal, but let me just preference this and say that who God brings together, let no man separate. Not who you bring together, which means if you bring it together, there's a chance of separation. There's a chance of that union being severed and never being brought back together again. So who he brings together, let no man separate. Okay, when he brings it together, it's going to be together. Whether there's a separation, divorce, whatever it is, there's going to be a restoration because no man can separate that. Okay, if he does not separate that thing in the spirit, you can divorce all day long. If God didn't say separate, divide, it cannot be done. Okay, so anyways, I was in the bathroom mirror today, and I don't know what I was doing, brushing my teeth, washing my face, doing my hair. I have no idea, but I was replaying my whole entire life in my head and talking to myself and talking to God at the same time. Do y'all do that? Okay, I'm not the only one. And the Lord began to speak to me about Jacob. And remember, Jacob worked for Laban for 7 years, and he worked for him in order to be able to marry Rachel. But instead, Laban deceived him and had him marry Leah. Jacob did not want Leah, but Laban told him that it had to be that way in order for him to be able to marry Rachel. So what did Jacob do? He took Leah as his wife. He did not want her. He didn't desire her. She was not what was promised to him. Okay, so again, when deception forces you into something your heart never pursued. And the Lord just began to speak to me about how people can be in a marriage, a relationship, a union, whatever, an entanglement, whatever it is, and they got into that thing out of deception. So the whole while they're in this marriage, this relationship, this entanglement, whatever it is, their heart is working overtime for what they were promised, for who they were promised. Okay, so I know people see a lot of couples in these relationships, and they just look at marriage unions and they assume that God did it. God did not bring every union together. He did not bring every relationship together. He did not bring every couple together. Just because it's a union does not mean it's God ordained. And the Lord just began to speak to me how a lot of people, but he was speaking to me about men. He used Jacob, but he was speaking to me, whether you're male or female, a person can be in a marriage union that was created out of deception, and because that's not who their heart desires, because that's not who they were promised, they're in this union, but their heart is working overtime for the person that was promised to them. Okay, you can be married to somebody and your heart is with someone else. Okay, so that is what the Lord began to speak to me, and I don't know why I'm speaking it to y'all. I don't know if this is going to be clarity or confirmation for someone, but even though Jacob was married to Leah, he yearned for Rachel. He wept for Rachel. He desired Rachel. So much so that even working for Laban, it didn't feel like work, because he knew that at the end he would get the prize, and that prize was Rachel. Okay, Leah was never loved by Jacob the way she expected to be loved, the way a wife should have been loved. She was never loved by him. She kept having all of these babies and saying, maybe now my husband will love me. Maybe now he never loved her in that way, because that was a relationship that was formed out of deception. Yes, they were married. They were husband and wife, but his heart was with Rachel. He was promised Rachel. So therefore, he was in a marriage union, but his heart was working overtime for the person that he was promised. And God just began to speak to me about how people are in relationships, unions, entanglements, whatever. And you may even look on the outside and say, oh, what a cute couple. They look so happy. But that man's heart is working overtime for the person that he was promised. I don't even know why I'm sharing this with you guys, because honestly, it felt a bit uncomfortable, because I know some of y'all, you will take stuff and be up there waiting for a man to divorce somebody, talking about, oh, this is for me. Let me wait for this man. That's not what I'm telling you to do, okay? Don't be silly. That's not what I'm telling you to do. I'm just sharing insight that God gave to me with you guys, okay? And I hope the ones listening are mature enough to understand what I'm saying and know that I'm not telling you to wait for someone who's married. I'm not telling you to break up a relationship. I'm not telling you any of that, okay? But I'm telling you that God was speaking to me, and he said a man could be in a marriage, a relationship, an entanglement, whatever it is, with someone, but his heart is working overtime for the person he was promised. His heart is working overtime for the person that he desires. That a person could be in a marriage and their heart is with somebody else. And because of that, the person that they're married to, that they're in a relationship with, will never get treated the way that they deserve to be treated, because that person does not feel at home in that relationship. Their home is with the person that they were promised. Their home is with the person God has for them. So, yeah. I don't know who I'm sharing this with today or why, because like I said, it's uncomfortable, because I know people take stuff and run with it, and they'll be like, Nina told me to wait for this married man to divorce. Nina ain't tell you nothing, baby. Like I said, don't be silly. But I just wanted to share this with someone. Just because it's a union does not mean it was ordained by God. Just because it's a marriage does not mean that God has bestowed his blessing upon that marriage. So that's it. That's all. I love you guys. Have a great day.